Hey guys, very good evening. I think it's awesome to be here tonight, Friday. Once again, we are gonna chat a little bit about doing business, and how we can do it so much better, right? If we have a framework in mind. So this evening we will jump into a little bit more detail around using confirm. Right? How do we confirm that the business is getting the kind of results that we want? So I'm going to run through quite a little bit of details on that. But before we begin, I just want to talk a little bit more about and last. So this is actually a Facebook community for business owners, as well as people who love to invest, right? To be able to find resources. Now, why is this so awesome? Because here you are, you know, this belief that we are always an average of the five people we hang out with, right? So in a community that we will build, you'll be able to find people who are like-minded, who are also interested to find out how they can actually level up in terms of doing business, in terms of doing investments. And there are like a ton of conversations, a lot of discussions about the different elements of investing, different elements of doing business. And also there's a lot of resources that so I strongly believe that all bosses must be able to drive their own business, and that's why we have actually created this community, this group, so that everyone out there, especially during this tough time, this pandemic period, right, able to find resources, able to find guides, wisdoms, golden nuggets of little hacks here and there to help to overcome all some of these obstacles that you are facing. So yes, let me show you some of the resources here, right? So if you guys go, scroll through, you'll be able to see like a lot of superstars who have, done a lot of consulting work in the space, who has been, trading themselves. They are actually sharing very generously on the network, and you can actually tap on all these resources. There's the other thing that I want to point out to you guys is on this thing called the units, right? So if you go to units, and you're able to see actually documented resources, things like case studies for investments, for investing resources. You can also be able to pick up for entrepreneurs. There's like workshops, there is resources for people who are doing a business, so things like growth hacking, how do you engage customers, frameworks like mine. So all these things um, complementary for the community. Yeah. So the whole intent here is really to be able to help and assist our friends and peers, right, during this period of time. So yes, without further ado, I would like to go into the presentation proper. Hi, Jeremy. Hi, Jonah. Hi, Musmudi. So yes, some of you guys will be asking like, hey, like I want to build awesome products, right? That people confirm wants to buy. So you come up with an idea, you ask around whether this thing work or not, and then straight away, you go to profitability. But what happened in the whole center part of it, right? The whole missing piece, right, is really around how how do you actually develop such an awesome product. So today I'm just gonna dedicate a little bit more of my time to talk about this, because you see there's so much theories out there, and it's already confusing enough for us to do firefighting, right, in our daily business. So I really hope that I'm able to migrate all these great learnings that very lean resourced startups use, to quickly hack their way to find their customers quickly, or to be able to develop their product very quickly, get validation very quickly. So all these little hacks, I would like to string them together and put it under a framework called V.C.S. So V.C.S. once again stands for validate, confirm, and scale. Yeah. So this is the real intent of being able to make something, right, so easy, almost plug and play, right, for businesses out there to use, to be able to validate quickly and scale their business too. Yeah. So here is one of the things that I want to share about, right, for today, right, on the confirmation part, right. It's the product market fit is really important. And this is one element that I want to spend a little bit more time today to share for everyone. Yeah. Um, so if you look at a business, it doesn't really matter whether I am a venture capitalist, or you guys are the business owners. We are actually on the same boat, right? You are investing your heart, your sweat and your blood and your money and all that into your own business. So shouldn't you also look and evaluate at your business, right? Like the way VCs or any investors, whether angel or institutional investors, look at their business. So the requirements are actually the same, right? The question is, are we able to find business that are investable? Whether is it we do it ourselves as a business owner, or we are looking to put money into investments, right? Are we able to find investable business and validate that they are investable? So if you want to be able to build business that people would invest in, right? Please respond with a yes, so that I know that you guys are interested in this topic. So put yes if you feel that you are keen to know the secrets, the formulas behind building an investable business. Please type yes. Okay, so awesome. So here's the thing about the startup scene, right? It's very, very interesting. See, if if you put a bunch of very talented people together, right, and you give them the correct equity incentives, and you organize them into a startup, right, you can actually unlock human potential to solve a lot of problems. And you have seen, like, whether it's Grab, Airbnb, a lot of all these awesome so-called solutions were available in the market. But then, may I ask you, see, if startup organizations are so great, right, why do so many fail, right? So that got me really curious, in those years, as a VC, working very closely with startups, even in the fintech space, right? And that got me really curious, like, if the potential of all these startups are so great, like, why the failure rates are so high? What essentially matters, right, when it comes to startup or business success? What are the essential elements? So I started to ask myself, and I thought, hey, maybe I should I should approach this, in a scientific manner. So you see, in the last 10 years, right, we have reviewed about 800 companies, and there are many successes and also many big failures. And obviously we learn a lot, from these failures. And I really tried to look at what are the factors for that accounted for most of the company's success and failures. So here's what we did, right? Um, we look at the 5 essential success elements. So a bunch of us, we gather together, and we ask each other, what do you think, are the essential elements? So the first one is probably ideas. You need an aha moment, right? A good idea. Probably the good idea will solve, world hunger issues, right? But then we think maybe perhaps it's also the team. A team that is able to execute is more important than the idea. The team that's able to adapt to different situations, right, and stress is more important than the idea itself. So I'm going to quote Mike Tyson here, right? He says everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. So when you have a good team, right, that is able to execute, right, and the ability to adapt, right, it's like being able to get punched in the face by the customers, right? So the interesting part is really the customers is the true reality. Yeah. So yes, I think team having a strong team is pretty important. But then I also started to look at business models. So that brought me to the next thing, right? Do teams actually have a plan, a well thought through plan, right, that they're able to execute upon? So I put plan into that consideration. And thirdly, obviously, it's money, right? Money matters because startups doesn't really have all the funds to finance their dreams and their ideas and whatever they want to execute. So we also added this element called funding, to make sure that there's enough funding to see through the entire plan. And of course, the last part is timing, right? So the question is it too early? The world is not ready for it, or we have to do something that we still have to go and educate the world before they can actually start buying our products. So this is really something that we want to take into consideration, and we did something interesting here. So we showed a bunch of startups, right? And obviously some are no longer startups; they're really huge right now. But you see, on top are so-called the startups that have gained tremendous success, and the bottom are those that have failed. Right? They might be like well funded. They have very good business models in some of these cases right at the bottom, but they failed. So when we did the comparison, and a bunch of us came together, we were asking ourselves like, why? Why they failed, or why did they succeed? So in all that five things that we talked about earlier, right, the five essential elements, we were trying to get everyone to vote, right, based on their own interactions with the startups, based on their own investments, based on their own evaluation. What do you think score the highest, and what do you think scores the lowest? So we have tabulated the outcome. Let me share with you guys. But before I do that, I would love to ask you, what do you think is the most successful, the most essential element for business success? Is it a good team? Is it lots of funding? Is it fantastic ideas? Or is it timing? Yeah. So I would like to hear your response. Please share your thoughts. Yeah. What do you think attributes to business success? So while we're waiting for the answers to come in, right? So I'm gonna tabulate. I'm gonna show you the outcome from all these surveys with all these different VCs and investors in the space. Okay. The answer is timing. Yes, some of you guys got it right. Yeah, Facebook user, you can actually click this StreamYard thing to be able to register yourself, so that I'll be able to call you and thank you. Yes, you're right. So Alex, you're right. Also timing. CK, you're right. Awesome, guys. Very very smart group tonight. Yes, it's timing. Um, so on scoring the highest is timing, and then followed by team execution. Um, and then obviously, to my surprise, ideas actually scores third. Yes. So that got me thinking about, like why is this so? Right. So see, the number one thing, which is timing, is actually not about being there at the right time at the right places. It's not like timing per se, but it's about when you want to launch something, is there a market for it? When you want to sell something, is there a market for it? Yeah. So the best way for me to explain this theory, this concept, right, is really through some examples. Okay, so let me look at the first example, Airbnb. So Airbnb, like everyone knows, right, it's a wild success. But do you know, guys? Do you know that Airbnb was passed on by many smart investors? They thought it's a stupid idea. Like, like no one is going to rent out a space in their own home, right, to strangers, for short term. It's like so-called worse than a hotel, right? First is your home, and then you got strangers coming in and out, every other day. So those investors were taught that this Airbnb concept, right, it's not going to work because nobody in the right frame of mind would rent out space in their home, right, to strangers. But then, of course, that proved wrong. And what actually really happened was, during this period when it was a recession, and people are trying to make extra money. They actually needed that extra money. They could be renting the property, right? They need to pay their rents, you know. So this Airbnb concept actually helped these people to overcome their own objections about renting out a space in their house. So all overnight, during that period of time, this whole gig economy started to pick up. And that's why, the timing was perfect, because the concept came at a time when people needed to use it to solve their problem most. So this is one good example. Another example, SPH Razer TV, right? Um, these are the time in, I think, back in 2005, 2008, when YouTube and SPH TV, Razer TV came around. And during that period of time, that concept about having videos online were nice. And obviously, you can see that these two companies do it very differently. SPH Razer TV, they did a lot of video on demand. They actually produced their own content, right? So they took on this concept. And YouTube, they actually source their content from the public, right? So they actually a video hosting kind of platform. Um, Initially, SPH Razer TV kind of have more traction because people are going there to watch stuff, right? Like things that actually fell out of the not fell out, but hosted by Storm. Remember those days when you have Storm? Those stuff was also being replicated in Razer TV, so it's quite entertaining. All right, but all these a lot are actually aggregated by the producers within SPH and presented it to the audience, right? So, but then you see, during this period of time, there's a lot of challenges. Okay, number one, right? Um, the broadband connection wasn't that good, so there's a limitation in terms of the quality of the kind of videos that can go online, right? Too high for too large format, too high top format. People will find it difficult to watch it from home. Basically because the internet connection wasn't as strong as what we have today. Secondly, during those times, we don't have that luxury of like smartphone devices where you can almost shoot a video and upload it immediately. So when YouTube came in and offered a public platform for people to be able to share these videos, right? It kind of timed in very nicely when iPhone and all these smart devices, right, became started to take leaps and bounds in terms of the camera technology. Started to take leap and bounds in terms of internet connectivity, right? So YouTube and this came in so nicely, and then overnight YouTube become a sensation, right? It got to where it is, and I would say you will never get a better timing than this, right? So it's really a good example of what you offer, right? So for YouTube is crowdsourced content and the time where you offer it, right? There's a market for it, and that's why after they have all this content on the platform, they are able to monetize through advertisements. Yeah. So I would like to highlight the fact that so timing, right, is really not about speculating, like how you do in the market, right? To time the market, or that it's really not that. Timing is really understanding, what you want to offer, and whether the point in time when you offer it, right, the market is ready for your product or your services. And there's a few ways that you can go about doing that, right? So by definition, if you research the market, I wouldn't strongly believe that that will work, because whatever you research is already something that is existing in the market. Okay, what you research is already existing. You're looking at the existing stuff, right? But I would like to push you beyond that. I would like to ask you to be able to find a hidden need. All right, what are you substituting? What are you offering and serving to your customers that is better than what is available in the existing market? Now, if you ask, I love this example. If you ask Henry Ford, so back in the days when Henry Ford was trying to invent cars, right? If you were to ask people, what do you want? They will tell you, I want a faster horse, isn't it? Because those days transports are mainly horses, right? They will not think about cars. That's why you need to understand what's the underlying purpose, and the problem that people are trying to solve. And that is the hidden need. And that gives you the unfair advantage when you're able to solve it. So when you're able to produce cars at lowest cost, go faster speed and all that, right? The horses were being replaced. Another good example would be, and don't worry if people say, it's a dumb idea. Okay, so let me share one thing with you before I go to the next one. Wix.com, the one that let you create website and all that. Now, in those days, people know that they need to do websites, but they do it using what, Dreamweaver, FunPage, right? Stuff like that, right? So so I think the founder was trying to sell the idea that, hey, this is a templated website where you can just plug and play and you'll be able to build a website quickly. And a lot of people laugh at them, right? This is a dumb idea. Like like the normal people would build a website would want to code it, right, using Dreamweaver and all that. Why this template, and people cannot wrap their head around this concept, right? But eventually, well, Wix solved the problem because Wix understood that the people that needed a website has an end game in mind. They either want to sell something, they want to share something, they want to promote something, and that's the end game. Between where they are, which is no website at all, to what they want to satisfy, it's not about building the website, right? Those people who build a website are probably offering a service like a website builder, that kind of thing, right? Website design. So Wix understood that. And that is actually the problem that Wix is trying to solve, to get you to the end game, right? So I thought that was actually quite interesting. And that's why it's also at the same time very encouraging, because sometimes people say, you have a silly idea, right? But it's not so silly when you really understand, what is the true purpose of the service or the product that you're offering that solves, right? The true problem that is trying to solve. Yeah. So the other element, right, is, like when you put something out there, don't push it down people's throat. Why? Because those kind of product that you need to sell very hard, right, um, are going to be a very tough business to operate on. On the other hand, think about products that actually, pull the customers to it, right? So things like Wix, right? When people say, okay, I need to solve a problem, and you explain it so well, people come to it, right? So they were attracted to you because you're able to help them to solve a problem. Yeah. So this is one other element that's actually very important. And finally, you know, the one of the reason why the best companies create a market is also they're able to understand the concept about minimal viable product. You see, it's actually very costly to build out the entire solution. Then you go to market, because this solution might not be the best fit for the market. And what's going to happen after that? You're going to bring the product back, tweak it, and then relaunch it again. So sometimes when you have a concept and you did the validation part and you think that it works, quickly prototype it, quickly build the least functions, right? Working model or working product. If it's a dish that you want to cook, quickly prototype that dish out, right? Um, Without all the fancy garnish and the frills and all the, just quickly produce that out and get it into the hands of your customers and let them tell you, right, whether is it good or bad, right? Take in their feedbacks. So this is actually one of the very important elements, because sometimes you'll be surprised. Your customers might actually want something that was not in the product, or they take this product that you offer and use it for something else. Now you have to be very careful if that happens, because those are things that your customers are validating or confirming with you what this product serves, what problem it solves. So you need to double down on those things. Yeah. Okay. So yes, let's go back to, how do you build products that people would really want to buy, right? And today we will spend a bit more time about the confirm stage, whereby you will be able to find a very, very good product market fit. Okay. The first thing that you got to do is to talk to your customers. Talk to your customers to develop a market thesis, right? To have a good understanding and appreciation of what your customers' true needs are, right? And you know what they say? Talk is cheap, isn't it? So by asking people doesn't cost you much. Yeah, by doing surveys or going to do polls online, you know, get a very good sense of how your customers wants to solve the problem through your product. See it through their eyes, see it through their experience. And then you'll be able to develop your thesis. Now, secondly, listen to their problems, not their solutions. So sometimes customers will tell you, hey, you must solve it this way, that way. No, again, listen to their problems. What is their agony? What's the pain point? Right? Try to pick those up because those are the critical issues that your solution is going to solve. Right? Remember the last episode we were talking about vitamins versus painkiller? Yes, you're looking for painkillers. You're not looking for vitamins. So really try to pick up what exactly is the problem that they're trying to solve. And see, remember just now we were sharing Henry Ford, right? He wanted to create cars. But if this poor chap went to ask the customers then, you know, um, what do you think my solution should look like? They'll tell you a faster horse, a better breed horse, right? But that's really not what Henry Ford trying to seek, right? And Steve Jobs also make a very, very good point there. Steve Jobs was saying that your customers do not know what they want until you show them, right? So the point is, again, understand their pain, dig deeper, try to understand what is the underlying job that your customer wants you to help them to accomplish. Yeah. Thirdly, rapid prototyping and user testing, very important. As we shared earlier, the best companies creates a market. If you build a product to its full functionality just to test your hypothesis, that is a very expensive exercise, right? Because imagine the amount of investments you have to put in, and probably half of the things it didn't work, or people didn't want, right? So pick up that flexibility to prototype stuff quickly and get it into the hands of your users, so they're able to tell you, if it works, and what needs to be discarded, and what needs to be improved on. These are things that are very, very important. um, and once you do this iteration, you really need to constantly test the solution with them. How you do it? So there's two important rules. Okay, guys, there's two important rules. First, when you talk to your customers, be open to change your view as to who your target customers are. Again, when you talk to your customers and you think they are your target customers, right? You want to target this group of customers. Be open when you test these solutions to change, your customers' demographics, yeah, or profile, right? Because sometimes your product might not suit the existing target customers that you are after. So be very open, to adapt. Secondly, ask the $1 million question. Are they willing to buy your solution or your product now? So test the question, test the solution with them with these two rules in mind. Number one, be very open to the change in terms of the customers they're targeting, right? Their profile. Right. Number two, always ask the $1 million question. Are they willing to put money, take out money from their wallet and pay you for it? Because otherwise, it's anecdotal, right? Like maybe it's your best buddy supporting, whatever you're doing, and say good, 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 good. But you need them to take out money and pay for it, and you need enough of them to really confirm with you that actually your product is something of value to them. Yeah. And there's a few things you can do. Also, number one is do customer interviews, right? So so every time when you put something out there, do customers interview, talk to them, have these conversations, right? You need to do about at least 5 to 10 interviews at least to get a good grasp, right? So plan your questions and conduct these customers interviews. Number two, which a lot of people always neglect, is to do your customer experience observations. So how that works is very simple. When you put the solution or product in front of customers, and it could be like your different version of laksas or chicken rice, it could be anything. When you put it in front of customers, observe. Observe how they actually consume or use your product. It could be an application, it could be anything. But what I really want to encourage everyone out there to pick up is when they are using the product, what is the agony? You know, where are they, showing you that there's a problem with the product or something that is not right, right? And these are actually the critical issues that you need to pick up and prioritize, whether to dish that feature or to modify it. So this will give you a very good guideline in terms of how you can actually improve your product and build something that people confirm want to buy, right? Yeah. So when do you know? When do you know that you have successfully, achieved a product that people would want to buy from you? Now, I have some metrics that I would love to share with you guys. And if you have a pen and paper, please write it down. Yeah. Oh, by the way, if you think that what you have learned so far, right, is useful, and obviously all these are complementary because it's the COVID pandemic right now, and I have a lot of friends out there, including you guys, trying to digitize business and trying to overcome a lot of obstacles and challenges. So I'm really doing this. I'm taking my time to do this, and I hope that you guys will do the same for your friends. And please like and share and let them know that there's this channel that's available so that they are able to benefit from these things, because all these are very painful lessons that we have learned after many lessons, many mistakes that we made, or the investments that we have pumped into, right? The startups that we have bought into, in terms of equity, and they failed. These are essential stuff that are put together that actually works. So we have dished all those things that didn't work, like there's just too many theories out there. So what I'm trying to do right now is to build this framework where it's all the essential stuff that actually works, and be able to share it with the community. So please, guys, please like and share if you feel that this thing helps your friends. Yeah. Sorry, guys, I lost you guys for a short while. Probably some internet connectivity issues, but okay. So now, the number one metrics is returning usage. So returning usage is when you have share and show your product to the customers, right? Are they coming back for more? Yes, I know there are some whereby it's a one-time product where people buy it and they disappear, right? Because they will continue to use it. So for those especially those that's offering a service, you really need to track, whether they're coming back for your service, whether is it you have a food store, you know, and you're building your regular customers, are they coming back? Or you're actually offering an application, so you can actually track those data through your app. And the critical points that you want to track is, within the first week, are they coming back? And within the first month, are they coming back? Right. And from there, you are able to pinpoint whether you are offering something that people will come back and ask for more. Yeah. So this is the first metrics that you will need to track. And secondly is your net promoter score. Okay. So forget about that very cheap, term. Okay. What it actually really means is, if you ask a customer, would you recommend this product or services to your friend, from the score of 0 to 10, what will you score this product or service, right? So the net promoter score basically tells you whether people will recommend this product or like it enough, right, to recommend this product to others. Okay, how it works is very simple. From 9 to 10, if your score is 9 to 10, that means these people are promoters, right? They promote your product for you. 0 to 6 are distractors, right? They are not strong believers. 7 and 8 are thrown out. Okay, so the thrown out means, like it doesn't really matter. It kind of sit on the fence. So what you want to know is the 9 and 10s, and the 0 to 6. And what you do is you aggregate all the feedbacks and then you score it, right, in terms of percentage. Yeah. So you want to know how many percent are actually promoters, right? So you take the total number of promoters, the percentage of people who promote your thing for you, who scores you 9 and 10, right? Total percentage. Say, for example, 88%. Ignore that 12% and look at now how many distractors. Say distractors are 8%. Say, I'm just giving an example. Distractors are 8%. 88% minus 8% gives you 80%. Okay, so you are having a very, very strong product or service when your NPS is greater than 50%. It's greater than 50. Okay, so just a quick recap. Net promoter scores is to find out whether people promote your product because they love it. Yeah, so do a survey, aggregate the percentage of promoters versus distractors, right? So promoters are people who score 9 to 10. Distractors are 0 to 6. 7 and 8, you throw it out. You take the percentage of promoters minus the percentage of distractors, that will give you your NPS score. Okay? Yeah. So do review my video. It's going to be posted, and I'm going to make it available for everyone. If you guys have a question, you can also ping it on the group chat, all right? Or you can actually just text me on my Facebook page. It's Rudy Lim, my page. So you can ask me questions over there. Otherwise, you can always revisit my video. I will make it available online for you guys, right? So yeah, so NPS, make sure that it's greater than 50. Okay. The next element is this. Let's forget about people that will drop out, right, from your system, right? So your customers has dropped out. No, forget about that. I think what's really more important is what percentage of those people, right, that's eligible to renew that service from you. What percentage of it, right, are actually renewing? So capture and pay attention to that renewal rate as well. So that gives you longevity. Also gives you very good feedback in terms of your renewal plans. Whether you want to throw in discount, things like that. So these are also very important metrics to know whether your customers are returning customers, right, to purchase your product. And the next element is a bonus element, right? They miss you. What does that mean? So basically, imagine this. If your product or service is taken away from the market, right? You tell them goodbye, I'm closing shop, right? And they miss you. They miss the fact that I don't have this thing anymore, right? So you do a survey, and if the survey says that there's more than 40% of the customers that you do a survey with who use your product before, and you did a survey with them, and more than 40% says that wow, I really miss this service, this product, whatever, right? Then you are doing something correct. Otherwise, if it's lesser than 40%, right, it's something probably that is very forgettable, and you probably make the best decision to actually exit the market. Yeah. So these are the 4 key metrics to know that whether you have achieved, creating a product and service that people love and willing to pay you for. Okay. So we are coming into a very interesting segment, which is called the business clinic. All right, so the business clinic allows you guys to actually interact closely with us in terms of sharing with us what are your business challenges. Okay, so you see the link there, and what I'm gonna do right now is also to share with you the link on the chat. Just 1 second. Let me pull the link over. Okay, there you go. So you can click on that link and just talk to us. Just submit, your business. What kind of challenges is it facing? And the lucky ones get picked, and we can talk about it, and we'll do this live. Okay. So I think I saw Jonah earlier, and Jonah, congratulations. We have picked your business today, and we will talk about your business, right? So ladies and gentlemen, so Jonah has shared with us some of the challenges in his business. So what Jonah do is he actually owns a hotel in Malaysia, and he wanted us to help him solve some of the struggles within this business. Okay, so let me talk you through. I just open up the form, and I want to talk you through about some of the struggles. Okay, so he feel that there's price war with other hotel. He find it really hard to differentiate. So besides providing better services and cleaner rooms, right, he find it really tough in terms of positioning and differentiate what he offers. His revenue is in the arrears of half a mil to 1 mil per annum. His team is about 11 to 20 of that size. So what he wants us to solve, right, is really to be able to get our inputs in terms of their positioning. All right. In a time like this, with the embargo on traveling, with a drop in terms of tourism, do they need to how do they actually pivot in a time like this? And he's saying that he already got online. He's getting good reviews from Booking.com, Agoda, TripAdvisor, and all that. They have a good visitor count, but because of the situation right now with COVID and all that, the occupancy is really, really low. And he's really concerned about this. So he's asking us for ideas in terms of how he can actually solve this. Right. So he asked us also, instead of incurring more, operational expense, which actually need years to recoup, right? Should he stop this business, and in future, right? Should he even continue with this business because it is high capex, right? It's high capital expense. So these are the considerations that he has, that really troubled him. Yeah. So okay, I'm gonna share our thoughts on this. So if you guys would love us to talk about your business, type in, business, right? Or biz, type in biz, and I'll take note of your interest, and hopefully I will be able to pick your business struggles or challenges, right, in the next episode. Okay. So yes, Jonah, here is some thoughts to that we love to share with you, right? Okay. So firstly, I understand that this is a high capex investment. So instead of having to own the hotel, the estate itself, right, which will obviously cost you in terms of the land, the building, the maintenance, and hiring people to operationalize all that, perhaps you might want to consider owning the brand and the experience. So what I meant is, okay, go for a franchise model where you work with hotels, right? In an Airbnb style, you work with those 2-3 stars type of hotels that are also struggling, right? And you take inventory from them, say maybe 1 floor or 2 floors, right? And what you do is you brand it your style because you really understand, the operations and all that, right? So you brand it for a very targeted group of customers. Okay, so for this example, let's make it easy. Let's target millennials. Okay, so you wrap your brand, your decoration, your features, right? That is targeted for millennials. So I've showed you some of this thing on the slide, right? Which is like having USB, charging ports, having very stable and high decent speed Wi-Fi connectivity. Even having Netflix on TV will be awesome, right? Or things like they're able to pay by using cryptocurrencies. And also things like loyalty programs. So they're able to share on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook to tell their friends about how awesome the experience is because they can take pictures, right? So decorate and make it nice that are targeted for millennials. And here's the thing. Once you have this brand, this experience, right, you can replicate. You don't need to own a hotel. All you need is to own the experience and wrap your brand around the experience. And this is how you can scale, because when you partner with the hotels, right, you're actually either on consignment, depends on the contracts that you work out with them, right? You don't exactly need to own the operations, hire the headcounts, and even own the hotels itself, right? You can work with them, decorate the hotel in a way whereby you can drive the customers, say millennials, from your website or your apps or your application, right? The bookings, right, to the hotel. So you're actually driving foot traffic, right, to the hotel. So they will love to partner with you. Now, the difference is if you walk into the hotel, Jonah, without your service, they're gonna experience the traditional hotel as what it was, right? But booking through your app or booking through your website or going through you, these people will get a total different experience, right? So it's an A/B experience. Yeah. So what you want to do is to differentiate yourself by selling an experience. Yeah. Right. This is something you can brand. And once you can brand it, right, then you can start to expand your distribution, right? So this one hotel, then it could be 5, it could be 10 locally, right? You can start to expand, and this is going to be a progressive kind of endeavor. It takes time to build, but once you have established a certain level of traffic, people come appreciate the brand, then this whole concept, you can even bring it abroad, overseas. All right, it is really that mobile, because once you have digital presence, people share, people got that confidence that if they book through you, they're going to get this experience. The same experience don't have to be restricted to Malaysia or Singapore, right? You can have legs. So this is one consideration. This is just an idea we thought might be able to help you during this period of time, because there's a lot of inventory in the country. There's locked within the country, but there are still millennials in that country. There are people who can still move around a little bit. They can book these hotels, all right? But you can differentiate by selling the experience. So all it takes is for you to decorate nicely, and drive the traffic from the application or website that you build, right, to those hotels, right? So yes, Jonah, I hope this helps. If it helps, I mean, feel free to share it for your friends and partners. All right, so guys, today I only have enough time to just share one business challenge, but I promise you that I will do a little bit more in the next session. Okay, and in order for me to do that, just submit whatever challenges that you have to the business clinic, and we as a team will be able to look at it and be able to generate some ideas for you. It may not be the best ideas in the world, but I hope in some way or other it could inspire you or your friends or your peers. Okay, so guys, please remember to like and share our channel. Please also join us at Endless, NLAS, be able to get access to all these precious resources that all our team members are creating for you guys. So all the best, hang in there, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode. All right, bye bye.